Hello, dear listeners. Imagine a world where law is usurped by might, where territories are not drawn on maps, but in the tumult of gunfire. This is the enthralling yet terrifying realm of gang wars. Here, only the mightiest reign, and power is paramount. It is an age-old concept, born from our inherent instinct for survival and dominance. We see conflicts over turf, power struggles, and the relentless pursuit of wealth. Now, let your mind wander to a bustling city, teeming life. Yet, beneath this vibrant exterior, unseen territories are drawn, branded not by mere ink, but by allegiance and often bloodshed. These territories are the bedrock of the world of gang wars. A single misstep, a solitary breach, and the fragile peace shatters, releasing a storm of violence that consumes all in its path. But what fuels these wars? Why risk everything for power and control? The answer is embedded within the structure of our society. It's not just about poverty or unemployment or feeling marginalized. These are powerful factors that drive people into the clutches of organized crime, igniting the fire of gang wars. Organized crime, the backbone of these wars, offers a system, a hierarchy of power that keeps this brutal world turning. From drug trafficking to blackmail, these illicit activities are the lifeblood for gangs, the fuel for the inferno of gang wars. As we delve deeper into this realm, we'll uncover of violence and conflicts that have scarred our history. We'll wander through the murky alleys of the underworld, examining the most infamous gang wars. Remember, these tales are not mere stories. They are harsh reminders of the lengths some will go for dominance and control. Thank you for embarking on this journey with. Our journey begins in the mid-19th century New York with the infamous feud between the Dead Rabbits and the Bowery Boys. The Dead Rabbits, primarily Irish immigrants, and the Bowery Boys, mostly native-born Americans, were at odds due to ethnic tensions and territorial disputes. Their rivalry was more than just a power struggle. It was a clash of cultures, a fight for survival in the gritty streets of New York. The conflict reached a fever pitch on July 4, 1857. On that day, a riot broke out that would etch their names into the annals of gang warfare. The city was thrown into chaos, shops were looted, and scores were settled with brutal violence. This epic battle was a stark demonstration of their deep-seated hatred and the lengths they would go to assert their dominance. This brutal war, fought over turf and respect, was just the beginning of a long history of gang conflicts. Fast forward to the turn of the 20th century, the battleground shifts within New York to Manhattan's Lower East Side. The rivalry between the Five Points Gang, led by the cunning Paul Kelly, and the Eastman Gang, under the brutish Monk Eastman, was fierce and bloody. Their power struggle convulsed the city's underbelly, with each gang vying for dominance. But this was more than a turf war. It was a chess match of manipulation, betrayal, and violence. Their war would set the stage for the organized crime syndicates that followed. Next, we travel to the Prohibition-era Chicago, where two gangs clashed in the infamous St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The Windy City, in the Roaring Twenties, was a battleground. On one side, we had Al Capone's Chicago Outfit, an organized crime syndicate that ruled the South Side. On the other, the North Side Gang led by Bugs Moran, a ruthless mobster who had his eyes set on the same prize. Their prize? The highly profitable, albeit illicit, liquor trade. The prohibition laws had ironically opened up a goldmine for these gangs. They were thirsty for power, control, and the intoxicating profits that came with the territory. The competition was fierce and the rivalry intense. This culminated in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre of 1929. A brutal, bloody event that shocked the nation. It saw 7 members of Moran's gang brutally gunned down. Their war, fought over the lucrative illegal liquor trade, marked one of the bloodiest chapters in gang history. Now we arrive in the 1970s Los Angeles, where two notorious gangs, the Bloods and the Crips, waged a war that is still felt today. The origins of these gangs are traced back to the social and economic disparities of the time. The Crips, formed first, established themselves as a formidable force in South Central LA. Soon after, the Bloods emerged, determined to resist the influence of their rivals. Their rivalry was fierce, marked by territorial disputes, power struggles, and a cycle of retaliatory violence that shook the city to its core. This was not a fleeting battle, but a war etched into the city's DNA, influencing Los Angeles's crime rate and culture in profound ways. Graffiti became their battlefield markings, hip-hop their war anthems, and bandanas their flags. Despite numerous attempts at peace, their feud remains one of the most enduring in gang history. This is a testament to the deep-seated issues that gave rise to these gangs, issues that remain unresolved to this day. Our journey concludes in California, where the Norteños and Sureños continue a bitter feud that originated inside prison walls. Born from the chaos of the prison system, these two factions have aligned themselves with major prison gangs, carrying their animosity beyond the bars. Their conflict, fueled by territorial disputes and a struggle for power, is an ongoing saga. The relentless cycle of violence between Norteños and Sureños is not just a gang war, it's a societal issue. Their war, a stark reminder of the destructive cycle of gang violence, continues to claim lives. As we step back from this dark underworld, it's vital to remember the real cost of these gang wars. Countless lives lost, communities torn apart, and a cycle of violence that's hard to break. The feud between the Dead Rabbits and the Bowery Boys, for instance, brought about a reign of terror in the streets of New York. The Five Points Gang and the Eastman Gang's rivalry left a trail of bloodshed and lawlessness in its wake. The Chicago Outfit and North Side Gangs' war was a brutal chapter in the city's history, while the conflict between the Bloods and the Crips and the Norteños and the Sureños still echoes in our society today. Each of these battles, while gripping, tells a tale of humanity lost to hatred and power struggles. They serve as a stark reminder of the devastating effects of gang violence, not just on the individuals involved, but also on the fabric of our society. While captivating, these bloody tales serve as a reminder of the profound impacts of gang violence on our society. Remember, understanding our past is the first step towards shaping a better future.